Hey everybody, what we're going to be tying today is a little emerger pattern, a little soft hackle. It's a cream midge pattern, so let's get going. Alright, so we're tying this today on a big T wide gap dry fly hook size 16. And you can tie this down to about a 20, 22, something like that. Fishes well both ways or all ways. For the dubbing, we're going to use rabbit dubbing cream. This is Wapsi. Okay, for the tail or the trailing shuck, we're going to use cream color Zelon, just a few fibers of that. And for the hackle collar, we're going to use the feather off of a Hungarian partridge. So let's get going. So I've already got my thread on the hook and the vise, and what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is tie in our trailing shuck. So we've got just a few fibers of Zelon, not very many, not like that. We're just going to pinch them off, and we want those roughly half the length of the hook, or maybe just a little bit longer. That's good right there. You're just going to have those kind of playing out for you. All right, I'm going to come up here, going to wrap that up maybe halfway up the hook, cut it right there. All right, so for the hackle fiber or hackle feather, Hungarian partridge is what we're going to be using here today. Now, the skins of these Hungarian partridges have got all sizes of feathers on them, and after you have tied with one for a while, you kind of run out of the smaller stuff if that's what you like to tie. So you're left with larger feathers, and if you waste those, you're really missing an opportunity. So I'm going to show you a way, hopefully, that you can use these larger feathers. Now, here we've got this feather right here. Now that is way larger than what you want to use, because what you want on these soft hackle patterns is you want it to be basically the length of the hook, maybe just a little longer. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take and we're going to just preen back some of these feathers just like that. Alright, you see we're still way longer. Then I'm just going to tear off a good number of these things, so we've got just a few left. I don't even need that many. There we go. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to take and just tie this sucker in. Okay, we're going to tie it right about the halfway point right here. Alright. I'm just going to tie that down just like that. Trim this off. Okay. What we're going to do is we're just going to wrap that feather a couple times around. All right. Just like this. And you're going to trim this off. It's still going to be a little long for us, so we're going to just wrap back just a little bit. Now, if you notice, this feather is evenly spaced around this hook. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take and move this thread up a bit. Okay, I'm going to take our thumb and forefinger and we're just going to pull this thing forward. All these hackles can just go forward, just the way they were wrapped around. Okay, so you're going to still have hackle fibers all the way around this hook. You're just going to down just like that, and you can actually take this with your offhand and just tie it down just like this. Okay. Now, I'm going to wrap back just like that. Form the body. Okay. I've got a few extras right here. We're going to just trim those off. Get to them. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go back, taper this body just a bit. take a tad of our dubbing here. And we're gonna, excuse me, just a little thin strand will do you here. I'll come around, it's going to dub forward and a little bit right here. Okay, now if you were tied off right here, you'd have a tenkara fly, but we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're just going to take, and what we want, I'm going to add just a little tiny bit of dubbing. If you'll look right here, what you're going to want to do is make sure you've got right in this area right here, you got to make sure you've got a little mound. Oops, sorry. Okay. And you'll see why in just a second. So what that's going to do is going to flare this feather for you, and you're just going to take and hold them back the same way you move them forward. Make sure you got them all, okay, or most of them. And you're just going to wrap ahead here. And you can move those feathers just a little bit the way you want them. I've got a little bit of dubbing, there we go. Okay, and make a head, and the reason you want it to do that little mound of dubbing here, and you can vary that depending upon how much you want these hackle fibers to flare. Now that looks pretty good. That thing's going to sit in the water at the end of a swing and just move all over the place. Those are just going to be waving at the fish. And the fish are going to eat the heck out of them. Okay, so I'm going to build a head. You got them where you want them, which I kind of like that right there. Okay. We're just going to whip finish this bad boy and be through. So let's do this. And we'll put whip finish just right behind the hackle. Make sure it's not going anywhere. Also building our head up. Okay. And we'll just trim that thread. Trim this little hoodoo right here. There you go. And there you go. Little cream midge soft hackle pattern, little merger pattern. So fish it, catch fish, and enjoy.